click subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss out from in-depth coverage of education, business insights, or the latest in sports. We bring you the stories that matters the most and news that shapes our nation. GMEB TV, bringing the Gambia to your screen. Welcome to GMEB TV, your go-to source for exclusive news and
Coming to you live from our studio here in Banjulinding with me, Ramotulai Jata, on the topic Inspiring Change. With me here is Alaji Cherno Suare, who is also an award humanitarian winner, and also he's a nurse. But before we begin, we would like to tell you that normally the show starts at 10, but due to reasons beyond our control, we were not able to show it live at 10 o'clock. So here, we're going to give Uncle Cake the mic to tell us more about himself.
Okay, thank you so much, my boss lady here. Like you said, my name is Alaji Chanasware, and you also called me Uncle Cake, which is a nickname that only stays at one institution. But however, I'm happy that you really remind me there, and I'm happy to be here today and see how much I can share with the viewers.
Thank you so much, Uncle Cake. So he's actually a nurse as well. So that's so quite. I mean, he's trying a lot, being a student and also working and also serving humanitarian purposes. I think that's a great thing. Yeah. So well, I have some few questions for you though here today. So my first question would be, what inspired you to get involved in voluntary services as a humanitarian and also as a nurse?
Okay. This will force me to go down to almost 20 years ago. In life, in as much as we want to make lots of money, we should not forget that we need to give back to our people. And from the family I grew up, like my father has always been there for the people, especially those who pass through Libya going to elsewhere, or also choose to stay in Libya and the like. So I grew up in that family, and then it's back to my grandfather too. Like almost every corner of West Africa, he's having a madrasa there, that is Arabic school to teach Islamic. From the Gambia, Nyame Dankunku, Willi Sudukonding, to Kolda, down to Guinea-Bissau, Gabo. You go to Guinea in Yambere. So, and all of these are with a great number of students in there, over 100 students, and that's how he taught. So to follow the same line, I also said to myself, I think I also need to do the same thing, and then back myself with Amel Saliha, like to do a good thing for the people and back to your people too. So I got inspired with this, then I first started. Luckily, I'm in Banjulundi here, and everything started here. Like I was in the Banjulundi Junior Secondary School, so I was introduced to the peer health. So the peer health program where to counsel our colleagues, your peers, to certain things. It first started malaria, then sexual reproductive, and the like. So I become passionate about the work. Then later I was pushed to the President International Award, where we do some recreational work, skills and interests, and going for adventure and the like. So I become more involved in the community affairs, especially with that of President International Award. It has paved way for me to really fall in love with community service. So I did carpentry in that area because people will be surprised, wow. And from there also cleaning. Then from there I was introduced to health, massage therapy and the like. Then I become little getting involved into health from the peer health. Now we are having here too. So I said to myself, I think I'm in a good cause. So I was not troubled by, I was like privileged to having almost all that I needed. So I was not under pressure to go to do some other Bobe job where I could help the family at a younger age. So then I had the room to learn and also engage myself in the things that would really serve me, because it was more like not being a lazy boy, but if I demand, I have it from my family in my teenage. So I decided to also expand myself in that wing. Then from there, I become more and more in love with it, until I graduated and I studied nursing. Like you said, it's going to be a very big discussion. From there too, I started working. So I would receive people at the hospital. Sometimes they will be having challenges to pay their medical bills. So I would have to spend my breakfast money to most of the tickets. And later I saw one article that talks about like as a Sahaba once donated part of a half of his wealth, and it was more rewarding. Then I commit myself to giving almost 25% of my salary for medical use, and then the 75% because at home I don't need to give fish money, and I'm not doing much, so I was not like in need of that money in one way or the other. So I was doing it that way, 25% of my salary. Then later I pushed it to more than 25%. And I was more like paying medical bills, and I would be gossiped. It if anything I say is work on. And but because I know at home I don't need to do more, and I was not like having that mindset of saving money for some other use, then I become challenged that the hospital was not giving medication that is required. So I began to save my money. Then I started a pharmacy, which was more of a charitable drugstore. I was selling almost 10% discount to market price, and it was growing. Like I said, I was not troubled with the financial status because I was not having more commitment to do with the financial side, and I was young, not giving that much value, not up to date. I'm not too impressed with having high amount in your account. I prefer giving. So I started this drugstore, which was really rewarding. But then with time, I was challenged that I need to have a lantern to go with it. So I have to stop. Then I started looking for a job because I have to respect the law of the land. I applied to this pharmacy. I wouldn't mention their name today. I'm sorry. And it is a well-respected institution in this country. When I applied, it took me like 10 days or to 14 days. There was no response. So I made a follow-up. To my surprise, when I made a follow-up, this guy couldn't tell me anything but go back to school and read. So I was like, perhaps was it the type of letter I wrote? I was like baffled with, but I was also convincing myself that perhaps it's an interview strategy to test my patient. So I was like, okay, I would accept. What do you think I should do? What area should I improve myself? And what area do you think I need to study? And it's like, young man, please leave my office. I'm sure he must watch this. I did say this in an interview, and I said, I'm proud that he is watching this, and he would really regret his action. But then he has helped me to catapult myself from that domain to another stage. So I tried to push ahead again, and he was like, in fact, what is your name? So I said, wow, I think this is the trick he's using. He wants to test my patience. If I am patient, then he would give me a chance. I gave him my name. He went to the file, get the file, and throw it on my face and asked me to leave. This is a reality, and God is watching. I took it with a smile, and I felt, okay. As I stepped out, I was on my way home. I was in the car, and I heard some other guys too talking about Gambia katrajanne imaka ekalondo sote maka atamandino yeah. So I was like, yeah, this is like almost the same case I face. So to know that I am vocal, it was said to me several times. That's why I identified this not on my own selection. I decided to think outside the box that what I could do. So with my skills on writing projects and the like, so I decided to script a project called The Golden Bee TV show. So where I will give voice to the voiceless, people will come out to talk about the challenges they have faced and the like. So from there, then it came, then come COVID-19. Still, it needs to a voluntary service. I'm a nurse. I need to talk about health. I need to invite people to talk about this, so to motivate others and the like. So I started again with it. Then I designed a face mask for people to use, especially beggars in the street, and on the street, excuse me, and others who cannot afford it. So it was cashed by the Attention Court Humanitarian Award Ghana, and I was invited to contest in their Game Changers Award, which is a humanitarian award in Africa, and I made the finalists for the first year. Then I was more passionate. It gave me so much power to give my focus on it. Then later I expanded, had people. I would meet you in the street and I ask you, are you interested to work in the media? You give me your yes, I have you there to be part of my executive. That's how I build my executive. We have community service, going to the schools, going to community most popular areas to give a public talk and the like. So it became bigger and bigger, and from there I was recognized again by a bigger project, the Global Humanitarian Award, where I won a special humanitarian award global. There I was also nominated to attend a program in United Kingdom, that is in England. I stayed in there, I had a work on humanitarian activities and the like, and from there I was moved to Scotland, did the same thing, I came back, and now I spread my arms to give in more and more. And as it stands now, I love the humanitarian service. I love the community service, voluntary service. Probably was one of the reasons Bruford people have seen, and then they also selected me to be the chairman of the youth and sport committee in Bruford, which is also another humanitarian service.
Wow, so incredible. Like, you can see the love that he has for this voluntary thing has really brought him like far. It has got him to like too many places that I like probably at the initial stage he wouldn't have imagined to be there or even got that award. So you can see how like the love, when you have love for something, when you have passion for it, like you don't know initially where it will get you to, but then with that hard work, determination, trying to volunteer and impact lives, that only alone can take you far. So like I think his love and dedication and also his family paved a way for him. So that's really good. You're doing a great job. I think any youth outside there should try and emulate and also try to create impact, try to change people's lives, because having these kind of things, you get to learn from people, trying to know what they went through, and also you can have a different thing on your own, but also make it, you see? So that was really good. I mean, I think Gambians, anyone that is into humanitarian activities and is into inspiring lives would actually want to would actually love to work with you. So yeah, that would bring me to my next question, and that is if you can share a memorable experience from your voluntary services. I mean, you've been doing this for a long time now, so I'm sure you must have encountered one or two things that you would want to share with us.
Wow. That will also be challenging because I don't even know which one to select. I think it has always been memorable for me with any service that I do, right from classroom to in my office, with my colleagues in the community. I don't know which one to select. To be honest with you, I don't know. Try to the one I am so much passionate about would be illegal to discuss most. That is with regard to defending Islam and also clearing some myth with surrounding female circumcision, which was one of the things of recent many people know my face involved in. I was invited to give a voluntary service, like to give a voluntary speech, to share my opinion as a nurse, and also verse with some parts of the Quran and Hadith on the said topic. So I shared my opinion in there, which went viral. People will call me an up-to-date. It has been like about 6 months ago until when the debate came in. People are even threatening me that if you apply for a visa, you're in trouble. I tell them, look, that's a lie. Excuse my language. My to travel to I have been to does not define me. What I am able to give to the people to support humanity is what will define me. And my submission on that was very, very clear, that I was defending female circumcision and not the other one, which is the mutilations, and I wouldn't want to go deep into that. The next thing would be like, perhaps I would say, taking the role of chairmanship in Bruford, where the sport committee was almost dead in terms of financial thing, and I inherited a committee of like $24,000. And today we have more than 500,000 in our account, richer than myself in some point. And it is unbelievable to see that within 100 days, this was done. Within 100 days, we raised over $500,000, which is over $500,000. I think if there would be anything to celebrate of recent, I would choose that one. Hence, it is for my community. The community, many people know me, and then no one will tell me that you are doing it outside and not your community. I just came in 100 days, and I gave them this, and I gave them that crowd with my executive. We gave them that crowd that no one was expecting to see that happen, and we signed a project of 100,000 plus within those scope that no one saw it coming, and it is all on volunteerism. So it's like I see myself giving to the people than giving it to myself, and it has cost me in some time, which will be a challenge thing, but I would like to discuss later.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you can see, despite all that, he also faced challenges, but then we'll come to that. So he was saying, like, in his community, he first started within his community, within his vicinity. So you cannot just leave your community and then try to go elsewhere to volunteer. I mean, that wouldn't be something that anybody can appreciate. But start from the grassroots, start from where you come from, and then the rest can follow. So yeah, thank you so much, Ongo Cake. I would say Ongo Cake. So yeah, like that would bring me to the next question. That would be like, how do you think youth involvement in community services can impact society? Well, we've seen like 60% of the Gambian population are youths. Like how can they get involved in trying to impact in their communities?
That's one question I always love answering. I always started with my dad. I tell him, you are born around 60s, that's probably before computer. I think your ideas are outdated. And if I share this with some elderly people, they will be like, ah, kunu untalia wakalam na bi kalam da so mari dalal. So you don't need to do away with their opinions, but then it is a modern day. Yeah. And if young people want to stay away and allow the old age group to take lead, it will be challenging. We have to be with them, learn from them, adjust it, evaluate it, related to our current generation, then we move with it. If young people desire to stay off the market, off the line to guide people on doing certain things, the community wouldn't grow. So young people taking the lead in this is really doable. Perhaps one would say maybe because I have come from a family that was supporting me, but you can do it. I come from a family where my mom was one time a maid, house help. So you don't have to wait to have $1 million in your account to give a voluntary service. You have to do it and it will come. I was doing some of this community service at the time when I was not having even $1,000 in my account, because when it comes, I give. And up to date, I celebrate, but whatever I need, I have it. And now I'm not dependent on my family, it comes. Sometimes I would sit at a corner, I cry to myself that I think I can do this, and someone will come out from somewhere and do it. And my job also is giving it at some point too. So you don't need to be old to get in there. Young people need to take the lead and start sharing their opinions, their stories, motivate others to come in, take a lead. We have well organized society in the Gambia. The young people are really talented. You wouldn't believe this until if you are fortunate to stay outside, then you would relate this. If you come to civilization, the young people are civilized. You think about to be oriented on community development, the young people are really taking lead. You talk of Gambia Participate, putting government in the account and other public institutions is led by Marnyang, who is less than 30 years old. You talk about the Gambia Participate, you talk about the Youth Hub, which is under Sonko, is really doing great. You talk about the Peace Gambia, which is under Yankuba, who is also a young guy. So young people can do it. You talk about other areas like if we want to go, it will be subjective. Like in the case of like the KMC's mayor is a young guy. Yeah. You talk about the Minister of Youth and Sport is a young guy too. So you don't need to be old to get yourself involved. Just start it now, get used to it. When you get to your professional level, it is easy because you are doing it at a voluntary type, you're doing it with a passion. So any amount paid to you wouldn't drive you. You would do it because of passion. So being young and in the community service is the best thing. I enjoy it, and then you don't need to be old to do it.
Wow, thank you so much. So you can see that being young doesn't mean you cannot do it. Of course, that's the time that you should be able to, because you're strong. You know, you can do a whole lot of things that people that are older cannot do. So like at your young age is when you try to make a greater impact, because like when you are older, there are certain things you would want to do even for yourself or your community. You won't be able to do because your strength wouldn't allow you. So the moment that you are fit for it, I mean, just go and do it. That's the time that you have to grab and then do things. So that was really, really great. So my next question now would be like, because we know everything, in anything we do, of course, we have to face challenges. They're part of our everyday life, the ups and the downs. So like, what challenges do you face as a young volunteer, and how do you overcome them?
Indeed, it's a challenge. Some would say it's not a challenge. To me, I put it in two ways. Sometimes I accept it as a challenge, and sometimes I think it is just to motivate me. In as much as we have a law that says corporal responsibilities from financial institutions should be given, which is 2% of your annual salary, which is not forthcoming. Sometimes we are very, very good at certain policies, and these policies cannot be implemented. I don't know why there's no follow-up on this. All the financial institutions we have in this country here, if they are all committed to act on this 2% corporate responsibilities they have from their annual return, I believe the Gambia would be more than a modern state. The Gambia would be categorized as a modern state. The Gambia will be celebrated even if you are in Pluto. The Gambia will be a land of El Dorado, Euphonia, whatever you call it. It does not require that much to help. but just give that little. But what happened is there are lots of intellectual theft. What happened is you will write your project, a beautiful project, you send it to a donor will reject it for you and tell you that there is no fund to support it. In the next week or next 1 month, they use the same concept, fund it themselves, pay themselves with high administrative cost, and implement your project. If you want to claim copyright, is not going to help you out, which is one of the biggest challenge I have faced. I don't count financial challenges that much, but this is the biggest challenge I have. I remember I wrote a project with my team on the Golden Bee Revolution on a campaign on elections. We wrote to this institution. I was invited by them on 3 different occasions to finalize the financial support they want to give us to act on that election, electoral education, or you call it education, voter education. First we came, the budget was, they forced us to reduce the price. Despite it was approved, we reduced it to what they said. We came in again, it was changed again to another one. So I asked, why are we reducing this? And I like, because we need to put, there is a scope that we already set for youth project. So this is on the youth project. I said, but this is not a youth project. This is a project to educate all. We are educating people on their voters' right, and this does not include only youth group. Our main target is like general. In fact, we want to target everyone, all inclusive. And if young people is the goal here, we are still saying we have other categories to meet. So if you give us less, you are going to force us to invite other people to join in there. But then later they were like convinced, they accepted, and we came to town. Only to come pick my check, I was told the guy who should give me the check left, and he had a funeral or whatever, something was said. And I should come back the following day. When I came the following day, I was told they have decided to look over it, and now they will get back to me anytime soon. 1 week later, excuse me, that same evening, I received an email from one institution requesting that they want to partner with me to implement that project. And I told them, okay, that is a good thing. I will be very happy. If you think you can do this, I will be very happy, so we could see how we could do work on this. Then we met one of the donors that I helped, then we could go, because I was like very, very calm. I was like, I was not seeing that they are working as a team. I thought this would help me to work with them, and then we saw what is needed, not to say my institution did it, but then we want to see it happen. So when I said, when they now they requested that they want to fund, or they also needed to see the document they go through. I didn't waste any time. I just sent them by email. The mistake I did was like I sent them the project document, thinking that they would be helpful. And later I asked, when I sent them, then because it's an email, I cannot undo it. I realized I was a mistake, and I sent them. But how did you get to know about this? That answer was never given to me. So later, 3 days later, the person who helped me to set the project, the project's methodology of Apandi, communicated me a front page of a newspaper indicating that the project is implemented in the CRR, if I can fully remember, in CRR, and sponsored by that institution that I called to support me, to an institution that
Welcome to GMEB TV, your go-to source for exclusive news and stories from the Gambia. Stay informed and stay ahead with our expert analysis. And open your YouTube app, click the search bar and type GMEB TV. Open the channel and click subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss out from in-depth coverage of education, business insights, to the latest in sports. We bring you the stories that matters the most and news that shapes our nation. GMEB TV, bringing the Gambia to your screen. Welcome to GMEB TV, your go-to source for exclusive news and stories from the Gambia. Stay informed and stay ahead with our expert analysis. And open your YouTube app, click the search bar and type GMEB TV. Open the channel and click subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss out from in-depth coverage of education, business insights, to the latest in sports. We bring you the stories that matters the most and news that shapes our nation. GMEB TV, bringing the Gambia to your screen.
Didn't just save it, I'm coming. Okay, welcome back from that short break, esteemed viewers. So that will take us to another question. I mean, I'm sure you must have followed all that he has said. Everything was just incredible. So our next question is going to be like, in your opinion, what role does compassion play in community services? Because we know as a humanitarian, you must have that thing in you that's making you help people, because you've seen how people out there sometimes suffer, struggle to get things that, basic amenities sometimes, some things that they supposed to have or it's their right to have, but then they are not given or they don't have the opportunity to have. So, and then that thing, that compassion, that love for them makes you to go for this humanitarian thing. So I'm sure you have a lot to say about this.
I think, unfortunately, I'm not a politician, although I am involved in politics because I vote and I also share my opinions. Um, it would have been better if I was a politician, then I would have uh, said much about this. But one thing I know is that I felt my community was down in terms of sports and youth development. So when they called me to come as a chairman, I came in. So when I assess the problems in there with my executive, we realized that financial issue is the problem. So we decided to work harder to raise more money for the committee to develop the community's sporting event and also give image to the community. We also thought of we are losing most of our young players, especially to be specific football players, to play in other zones when they can play in their home community because they have all that it takes to play for their community, but because there were no motivation for them to stay, they left. So we decided to do that. I am that jealous type, and I boldly say this: I am jealous, and I'm very, very jealous, but jealous for a purpose. If I come to you, I will not fight you for because you have it. I will fight to have it too. If I come here, I see how beautiful this studio is, and if I have a studio, I will make sure my studio is also beautiful. And also, I will look at it. There is AC. If I don't have AC, I will work out to have also AC. So that if they said if you go to Studio A, there is AC. If my studio is also mentioned, is in there. I am that kind of person. I always like to see the best for the place that I have been. Even during my high school days, the same thing. Basketball was almost dying. I have to even sacrifice my studies, which cost me a lot in my studies. Mr. Principal Sanyang of Kotu will attest to that. He will be like, Alaji, you're going to fail your exam. I said, Ninga, I fail, no problem. But then let the school be respected. And today, basketball is one of the most iconic activities happening in Kotu school. Kotu is having a Blue Ninjas basketball team, which was inspired from the school team. And Alhamdulillah, I was more like to say, yes, it came because I was working with a team that brought in the first time to go to from both football and basketball, made it to the finals, semi-finals, into the finals. I was sacrificing. playing basketball, playing football, come back to school, represent on debate, drama. It was almost like everything. Someone will tell me, like, it's about lab build. And I tell them, yes, because I want to see the school go in there. I don't mind what academic result will give me because I know not those A's will put me where I wanted to be. But then that service that I'm doing to serve my people and to be respected will put me where I want to be. So I was going with that and I'm still going with the same motion. So to my community, there is a lot to fight for, to get them that respect, to be respected. And one of those is like to get them a dream, which is winning a zonals. We are on track. Yesterday we qualified. I was more like a crazy guy running inside the field, like a player, despite being the chairman. I was even being mocked by my colleagues in our executive page, like the chairman page for Zonals West Coast, that, Mr. Chairman, you are running in the field. I said, I just found myself in the middle of the field. I don't even know how it came about. That shows that I am passionate to get them, my team is passionate to get them that dream to win the Zonals. Seeing that no youth will be left unattained in their interest in the pursuit. Although I cannot control the migrations, we call it illegal migration, some call it backway, some call it a journey to salvage their family from poverty to a satisfactory living. I wouldn't say not rich because I was not, I'm not in their condition. My parents made it because they live in abroad. If anyone wants to pursue the same way, although it may be dangerous, I can give you a caution that be careful, but I cannot stop you because looking at the statistics that people that made in there are larger or greater than the people that did not made it through. And there are some other policies like the visa sections. Sometimes you could have all documents that you needed and it's not giving you. So that's why I don't stop people from embarking on it. I only advise you to make sure you use the right thing. I also try to communicate with the people to value education in there, and I think this is a lot that I could share in there. The rest, if I want to talk about them, will make me a politician, and I don't want to sound like one today.
Okay, thank you so much. So basically, he highlighted some very, very important key points here. That is education, and also trying to bring greater change, you know, because we have seen a lot of our youths here that are embarking on the backway journey. He wouldn't say backway because he said it's the road to salvation.
Some call it.
Yeah, some call it that way. So, but everything is like, they're there to get a greener pasture, which they believe they couldn't get from their own countries. So, yeah. That will bring us to the next question. That is, like, as a nurse, how do you balance your work and the voluntary services? Like, you are a nurse, I mean, you are expected to be at a hospital, you're also studying, and also you're doing this voluntary service. Like, how do you balance these things as an individual?
Yeah, it's a difficult one, but it's like the goal you set for yourself. If I say it, some would not accept it, but people who are close to me would accept it. Dunia manyabo. I'm not moved by any worldly gain. If I am moved by worldly gains, today you would have seen those bling blings on my neck, maybe a diamond ring. Unfortunately, I am wearing a diamond watch, which was given to me as a gift, but mostly I even turned it down towards a camera, if you can see from the beginning, so that I just mentioned it. I am currently working as it's like a voluntary nurse. I refuse to accept a salary from the institution that I'm working with. They agreed to pay me, and I said I'm giving it only to those patients that are coming to the hospital and they cannot pay their bills. That's how I put it in there. My salary goes by almost, I don't want to mention, maybe other nurses wouldn't want to know, or maybe others wouldn't want people to know the range nurses are paid. But I am paid well, and I accept this to go as a voluntary to patients that can pay their bills and to buy medications from me too. The OIC would complain sometimes. I tell them, okay, now let's do it this way. I will be coming anytime you need me at the hospital because I don't want to be on a salary. If you want to force me to be on a salary, then I wouldn't be coming regularly. So because he don't want me to lose coming in there, I would join him on night shift. And if I find time, I come there in the morning shift if I'm free. But I'm working free because my payment is going to back to the community's health in there.
That's really, really so, like, wonderful. I mean, like, if you come to think of it, the economy, like, in the Gambia here, who would actually want to be in a place that is, even if they want to pay you, you're like, no, the money that you're going to use to pay me, you can use.
Welcome to GMEB TV, your go-to source for exclusive news and stories from the Gambia. Stay informed and stay ahead.
I mean, we all, including myself, I think this is something we should learn and also trying to implement in our lives. Not everything should be like, I have to benefit from it, I have to benefit from it. But then try to give back to your community, especially if people that you live with, that you see, are unable to get some things that you are privileged to have. You know, it's good to share. So, yeah, basically, you've said a lot, and yeah, I'm so happy. So this would actually bring us to the final and the last question. That would be, what advice would you give to young people who want to start volunteering? Like, you've been doing an incredible job out there. You've inspired lives. You have helped a whole lot of people, even those that, like myself as an example, we met and then in no time we get to know each other more. So, being that kind of person, welcoming to everybody, trying to lend a helping hand to anyone that you think needs it. I mean, that is something that each and every individual should emulate. Like, in the Gambia here, we know it's a very small country, but yes, still, it's one big family. So if everybody's trying to do the same, then like you, if we have your kinds everywhere, everything. I'm not saying everything will change, but a whole lot of things will change because some are earning higher, but what they are giving back is little. I mean, if they are to put more effort to it, then others too that do not have would actually have. So what advice, advice will you give to people that want to volunteer like you?
Thank you for the compliment. And it may be risky for someone to adapt to all that I have done. Perhaps, like I cited, from family support at the beginning, and family was not counting much on my end to contribute when I was a teenager. And today, gone are those days like almost 10 years away, but I have committed myself to something that is, I want to give back to the people, and I'm passionate with it. It may take a while to fall into this situation, but then it's doable. And once you are in there, it's addictive. It grabs you, it keeps you jealously, and it gives you that life that you are always stress-free, you are always happy, because anytime you meet with people, they are showing you that welcoming face. Unlike if I want to do everything money, money, if people see me, they will be like, I think I owe him something, I have to be giving him. Is he going to ask money from me? Or is he going to look for something that I will need to help him? Is he coming to me that I need to give him money? So if you identify yourself like you want to do it for God, God will always be there for you. Like God says, come to me, I come to you. You walk towards me, I walk towards you. You run after me, I run after you. You do any speed towards me, I will do it more than you do. So I have already given myself to God that yes, you have given me some fortunate to share. You have given me fortunate to share with people. I would share as much as I can, and this is a trend. And as it is, it's a trademark for me, and I'm already used to it. Any institution that I secure a job with, there is already 25% commitment, 100% for salary. 100%. That 25% that I have for my is 100% for charity. The other 25%, I am now adapting to give it to anyone that I think needs it. The 50% comes to me because I need to raise family someday, and I'm going with it. But at some point, in fact, even sometimes, like from today until like before to about a year ago, my earning, I enjoy less than 10% of it. I struggle at some point, to be honest with you, but then it is a passion. I feel happy if I help people, then I am helping myself. So sometimes I even forget to help myself. I can't remember when was the last time I went on like grocery shopping to buy clothes for myself, which is sometimes stressful, but someday I will do. Maybe if I get married, my wife and my kids, I need to get them look very good. But I enjoy doing it for people. I want to see people smile. If I see you smile, it makes me happier, then you are happy. If I make you happy, I become more happier. And I am committed to that. So to do this is very simple. Respect the people, put yourself in their shoe, understand that they need a better life, that you are wishing it for yourself. So if you see it in them, they act as a mirror to you. You look at them, they are happy, you see yourself in them, then you're happy. So it's easy to do it. You don't need a magic, you don't need a rocket science to do it. You just need to feel their pain, understand that they need it, and it goes for you.
Thank you, thank you so much, Ogu Cake. Like, That was so brilliant. Like, yeah, Uncle Cake. So I mean, viewers, you've heard all that he has said. So he mentioned commitment. He mentioned being like to have empathy. Putting yourself in the shoes of others. Trying to see them, trying to see like how they feel and the conditions that they are into, and then the privilege that you have to help them. I mean, if you help comes to you to like do good, and good follows you. So if you are doing everything for the sake of God, He's gonna be there for you always when you need Him. So basically, youths out there and everybody watching, I mean, we should try and emulate some certain things from Uncle Cake. So he has Alhaji. So yes, he has said a lot here, and I've learned, and I'm sure you've learned too. So let's all try to be giving helping hands to those that need us. Yeah. Thank you so much, and see you next week, inshallah. Bye.
Welcome to GMEB TV, your go-to source for exclusive news and stories from the Gambia. Stay informed and stay ahead with our expert analysis. And open your YouTube app, click the search bar and type GMEB TV.